Coach
How's it
Monken.
going? Good to see you, my man.
Hey, good to see you too. We're happy to have Coach Jeff Monken of the Army Black Knights. What'd you do during your bye week except talk to me and study football? Did you get a break?
Well, I got a couple daughters in high school, and one of them had their homecoming game, and she's a cheerleader, so we went and watched the cheerleaders, and then Saturday they had I guess there were 6 or 7 of them over at the house making bouquets, their dresses on, and all that stuff. So that was fun. It was nice to be a part of that.
Let's get going here. The Army Black Knights. You guys are in the American Conference. We're playing Air Force this week. Can you just summarize what the Commander in Chief's trophy is all about for the people that might not know?
Man, for those of us that are involved, and it's certainly here, it is the most coveted piece of hardware in sports. I mean, we want to win that trophy more than anybody wants to win any trophy there is, and it's our Super Bowl, it's our national championship. It's such a source of pride for our program and for our school, and I know it is for the others as well. And so these games are like a season all on their own. We play these other academies, and you just throw everything else out, and man, everybody puts all their chips on the table and plays just as hard as they can play, and it's what makes these games so great. And so winning that trophy is a great source of pride, and we relinquished it a year ago, so we're trying our best to get it back in the building.
Well, you've won it 4 times, and you know exactly what it's like to win that trophy. I just wanted to get a hold of you. You and I go way back. We've been friends for some time. We've studied football over the years. I just want everybody to know what it's like coaching at Army in this current landscape of college football. My understanding is, Coach, you can't participate in the portal.
Well, we can, but there's a little caveat that when a student transfers to West Point, they start all over as a freshman. That none of their credits transfer in. Everybody here goes through the same 47-month experience, beginning with cadet basic training in the summer before their freshman year, and so they start all over. And so when a college athlete, though he may be interested in transferring to a place like West Point, incredible education, the history, the degree that they get from this place and what it will do for their future is awesome. But to know that they got to start over completely, that usually pumps the brakes with those guys pretty good. And so we've actually got one transfer player on our team, Kyle Kloska. His brother Timmy Kloska, we were recruiting him. They're from Michigan, and Timmy came on a visit with his parents, and Kyle was a walk on offensive lineman at Central Michigan, and his parents came on to visit, and they called Kyle. They said, "Hey, this is the place for you. You really need to come check this place out." Well, he was a freshman, and so on his own dime, he traveled here to see us during the January recruiting period. Went in the transfer portal, and he said, "This is a great place, and I really want to come school here." So he and his brother are both on the team together, which is pretty neat. But that's the only transfer we've got, and it happened just because the family had a chance to see
Well,
West.
that's what I'm trying to say, Coach. You guys don't seem like you're real active in the portal, but I do look at your roster carefully because I've seen you lose players in the portal. People are coming to Army, taking some of your best players, and that's just got to be frustrating. I know you don't want to come out and say it, but it's got to be frustrating to lose the players that you're counting on, your best players, and not being able to replace them in the portal.
It's frustrating. Um, we're a completely developmental program, so we recruit all of our players come from high school. We grow these guys in our program, and whether it's through the strength and conditioning program, the player development that we do on the field, the leadership training off the field, we develop these guys from high school seniors to the players that they are for us. And a lot of our guys play when they get older, juniors and seniors, a very junior senior led team. But we get some good players that play earlier in their career, and prior to a cadet attending classes on the first day of class in his junior year, they're not technically affirmed. They affirm their commitment by starting the academic year as a junior. So anybody can leave without penalty before then. So, like you said, a few of those guys are good players, and people recognize that. And our guys have always had a chance to leave. They could always leave before their junior year. What's different now is they can leave for money, and it's real money. So we lost 3 starters off of our team a year ago, all good players and great guys, and they went to Power 5 schools, Power 4 schools, and we certainly wish them well. What do you say? It's hundreds of thousands of dollars. You want to stand up and congratulate them, and on the other hand, you're thinking, golly sakes, that we don't have a mechanism to replace a starter with a guy that's got experience like that. We've got to grow more guys through the program, and so there's some frustration that's for sure.
Well, there's a lot of jobs open. All these college coaches, they seem to, I don't know. I've never seen this much turmoil in college football in my life. And everybody that asked me, I said, you ought to look at the guy at Army. That guy, Monken, he's 85-60 at Army. And hell, I coached at Tennessee. Army came to Knoxville and beat us when I was a GA. I know you took Michigan into double overtime a couple years ago. You took Oklahoma into overtime. You beat Kansas State this year. You've beaten Wake Forest. You've beaten Duke. You've beaten Missouri. Is it distracting for you now with all these jobs open? I know they're looking at you as one of the hot shot candidates.
Well, I got a job to do here, and that's all I've ever focused on, Coach, is the job I've got to do here. I love coaching here. These are great guys, incredible young men, and to be in a leadership position at what I consider the world's best leadership school, it's an honor and privilege, and so to have a chance to coach these guys, how hard they play, how tough they are. That we're just every day trying to be the best team we can be here. And, I know that every other college and every other school wants that for their program as well. And I think with success, that it just kind of comes with the territory and the conversation. And you look around college football and the coaches that are winning, the coaches that have turned programs from, maybe struggling programs or programs that just hadn't had much success historically into programs that do win. People are going to pay attention to that. So it's brought some attention to us, and like it has for other places like Clark Lee. I mean, everybody's talking about Clark Lee and the great job he's done, and it's incredible. And I hear Eli Drinkowitz and the great job he's doing down there, and they're going to mention those same names. Those same names keep coming up. John Summerall and the outstanding coach he is, and so it's just part of it. But I love coaching here. I love coaching these guys, and I've been very blessed to be here and be a part of this incredible history at West Point.
Well, your cousin Todd is the offensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens. Your whole family, your brothers, your family, everybody's been in football. I think some people kind of pigeonhole you into being an option coach because of the style of play at Army. And I don't think people realize that when you're at Georgia Southern, man, you had a can of whoop ass. You were wide open, pro style. You have all these experiences that you could do at Army, but because of your personnel, there is a style of play that's very unique to the Black Knights. Isn't that true?
Well, I think every coach is obligated to do what he has to do to win at the school he's at. And that's certainly what we do here. And the option offense fits us. Our run game, we've got to control the clock and limit the possessions for our opponents. Frankly, we're playing teams week in and week out that are incredibly talented and skilled. And if we give them more turns with the football, the likelihood is they're going to have a chance to score more points. And so we play complementary football, and that includes a ball control offense, and it's what we've got to do here. And it's no knock on our players. We got great guys, and the most talented team doesn't automatically win the game. The best team wins the game, and that's what we're trying to do here. Is just be the best team that we can be, and our guys have embraced that. We got a great coaching staff, and so for a good number of years here, we've just played that style of football. And it's not unique to the option. It's just if you're not going to be more talented all the time, as it said, if you can't be better, then you got to be different. And so we just got to be a little different in the way we approach it, and that's okay. And a lot of teams have to do that and do it very well. So it's our style, it's our brand, and it's worked for us. And let's hope it'll last.
Last couple things, Coach. Thanks for being here. I watch your tape. I watch you every week. I'm a big fan of yours, and I see you coming off that 24-17 tough loss to Tulane. Seemed like you guys had a chance to really pull that upset. You lost 45-38 to a 7-1 North Texas team. Where is this Black Knight football team getting ready for Air Force in this Commander Chief Trophy matchup, man?
We're just battling our butts off, and we've had some disappointing losses. The game at Tulane last week, give them credit. They just made some plays down the stretch and beat us, and we had the game in control. We took the lead with just under 6 minutes to go, and give them credit. They made some plays and beat us. And the North Texas game was particularly disappointing. We playing here at home, and we turned the ball over the first 3 possessions, and they got up 21-0. But that's our guys. They just battled back. We found a way. We had the ball at the 6-yard line at the end of regulation. We couldn't punch it in, kicked a field goal and tied it up, and then lost in overtime. Those are heartbreaking losses. But our team battles. We're in every game, and this next ball game, I hope we can battle and be competitive enough to be in this game. These games are hard to win. The academy games are the hardest games to win because both teams are just fighting like crazy to win. And both teams, the players, the coaches, compete so hard for this trophy, and it's what makes these games great. So we're looking forward to the opportunity on Saturday and excited to get our guys back out there. I think we're improving. I think we've gotten better as the season goes along, and hopefully that'll be the case on Saturday.
I've got to see the Army Navy game a couple times in Philadelphia. It's something I think fans should have to see every year, or go to it once in their lifetime to see it live, to experience the emotions. When you feel the kind of people that go to these academy schools. Last thing, can you just summarize an average day for an Army student, one of your cadets there, what he has to go through before he gets to practice?
I will. So it's different for everybody. It's like a traditional college. Every one of our students has a little bit of a different schedule and routine throughout the day, but it's pretty standard. Everybody's got a wake up time, and we have a morning formation. So the entire student body, that's 4,400 cadets, students here, they're in formation in the morning prior to breakfast, and then they file into the mess hall and they all eat breakfast together, and then classes begin at 7:30 in the morning here. And most of our guys have a pretty full schedule in the morning. There's a lunchtime formation, so again they align in formation with their companies. They file into the mess hall for lunch. They all eat lunch together, and each one of these meals, our guys are eating their meals at football team tables, which is pretty neat for those guys to break bread together every meal while they're here. Most of the guys have an afternoon obligation of some kind, whether it's a class or a commandant or dean's hour, which sometimes are lectures, sometimes it's training. And then they make their way up here in the afternoon. We start our day as a football program at 2:30 in the afternoon. And that may be a lift or a meeting, or a walkthrough, something that we'll do at 2:30. And then our guys have the next few hours really dedicated to football. And we serve our evening meal up here in our building. So they get a chance to eat together again. And then evening study period begins following practice. So they make their way back down to the barracks or the dorms, as a traditional college would call them, or we have a study session set up, and they study until lights out. And there's a lights out here. And in fact, that lights out, it would be nice if all of our guys could go to bed at lights out, but oftentimes their days are so busy, they've got to put in an exception to policy, or an ETP as they call it here, to be able to study past 11:30, and a lot of them do. So it's a long day. It's not a lot of sleep, and so when these guys get to the hotel for road games or even a home game, they're glad to hit that pillow.
Well, Coach, when I was growing up, I think the best football coach I ever saw was Jim Young.
Mm.
Jim Young was a great wide open coach at Purdue. They had Mark Herman. They threw for 300 yards a game. He ended up going to Army just like you did, and he kind of morphed into this option wizard. And the most versatile coach I ever saw at a clinic was Jim Young. And I just want people to know I feel the same way about you. The versatility that you have, what you do to get your guys ready to win a football game. I don't think anybody in the country realizes how much you've sacrificed, maybe some of the creativity that you know and would like to use. But we are so fortunate to have you at Army. Good luck to you with all the coaching distractions. I know a lot of people would love to have you in their program, but please give the men out there at West Point my best, and thank you for all you're doing as a coach.
I will, Coach. I appreciate that, and I'm really proud to be here and proud to coach these guys, and I'll pass that message along. So let's hope for a great weekend and a win over Air Force.
All right, brother. Have a great one. Good luck, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
All
Be
right.
Nate.
Take care.